Hi friends, this is Sarah from Crafting and Relaxing, and this is my, I guess it's week 2, No Paper Left Behind update for September. And I have to tell you, I thought this was going to be an easy one. It's not a lot of paper, it's very thematic, but I added a twist to it. For No Paper Left Behind, let me start at the beginning for those of you who are new. Welcome to my channel. Thanks so much for watching. I joined Daniela Hayes in a challenge, and she started it for herself. If you're not familiar with challenges, they are not to scold you, compare you, anything like that. It's to encourage you to try something that you wouldn't normally do. And I am known for opening up a paper pad, making one card, putting the paper pad back on the shelf, and moving on. I'm legendary for it. I can show you paper that's been in this room, well, not this room because the room itself has moved, but in my stash for decades. And I've started going through and donating and sharing and doing that kind of stuff. I was really intrigued by the idea of actually using an entire paper pad, and that is why I am such a fan of Christy Marcotte with a K. If you're not watching Christy's channel, I don't know what's wrong with you if you're a card maker, but I was just fascinated by the fact that she would sit down and use a 6x6 pad. So when Daniela Hayes started this, I said, okay, I'm going to try it. And I thought I would try it for 1 month, and I love it, you guys. A brand new 12x12, a brand new 6x6. It could be a collection. I have been challenging myself to use the ones that I was into. Like I used this fall last year, and I think for June, I used one that I had hacked into, used last year, put in the cupboard, and really, honestly, let's be honest, I had no plans of actually going back and using it. But then Daniela put out the challenge, and I thought, okay, so for me, those are even harder because I've typically taken out my favorite papers. But whatever's in your stash, grab it and join us. If you feel like it's too late for September, that's fine. Think about what you want to use in October and get on board. You can tag me on Instagram or email me and I'll share pictures of your projects. Or if you have a channel, join us. I apologize, I'll probably forget people, but Daniela started it, Tanisha Kay's doing it, Susan Tootsie Tucker, Robin's Feathered Nest. I'm so sorry because I'm sure I'm forgetting a couple people. Jump in and do it. I know a couple of you have said you'll do it. So that's the point of No Paper Left Behind, is just pick a 6x6 or a 12x12 or some paper from your stash and use it. A collection, a pad, whatever. I took this to the next level for September because I thought it would be an easy challenge the way it was. I didn't have a lot of paper left from last year, and I really like fall, so I was super inspired. I combined it with a freeze that I'm doing for this month, so I'm not buying stuff, I'm using up my fall, and I shopped in my stash. Yep, you hear us say that, but I really did it. And let me show you some of the cool things that I found. And some of you might recognize these from Happy Mail that you sent me, or they're things I've had for years. And I approached these cards a little different. First, I made the bases while I was at a friend's house. And that's a pretty typical thing that I do. But then I came home and I looked around and I thought, okay, I don't have a whole bunch. There were almost no sentiments in the ephemera pack. So I'm using Bow Bunny. This was new, and its ephemera pack was brand new. And then I have some leftovers from last year that I was trying to mix in. But when I went through, there weren't a lot of sentiments in there, and the ephemera pack had no glitter, no bling. It just was not going to work for me. I got my fancy crafting system. This is the lid to the box that many of us got. I'll show you real quick in case you didn't see it before. If you bought this big pack at Tuesday morning where you put all your 4x6s in, this is the lid to it. And I apologize for some of you who watch my channel a lot. I know this is a lot of detail for you. This is the lid to it. This is a fabulous craft in bed tray. I love the lid. I know we bought it for the containers, but I take the lid, I throw in a bottle of art glitter glue, don't forget your scissors or you have to get back out of bed, and I threw in the ephemera pack, a gold pen, some washi, scissors, glossy accents, because I never use it. This is the only bottle I have, and I don't even dent this one. And I went and sat in bed and watched TV. Oh, and I had these Pebble stickers that I bought when I was shopping with Sabrina. I didn't know the back was wood. Sabrina, have you gotten into the pack? There's 2 layers and the back is even cuter. when we bought these, I thought, gosh, those are kind of small. I don't know if, what am I going to use them for? I sat down in bed. I took gold. So fall, I looked for golds and browns. This is Maggie Holmes decorative trim. I'm in love with it. You guys know that. And I went and I sat in bed. And then things just started to happen. Oh, I took some ink too. So this was a piece of ephemera, and I had some cardstock in bed, and I glued the piece of ephemera on, and I fussy cut it, and then I inked the edges. Should have inked that one first, but I forgot. Then this is a couple of leaves off of that. And these were brads. I don't typically use brads. I'm not into brads, but they were so cute that I absolutely, without a doubt, had to keep them. And I cut the backs off. One of you guys talked to me about doing that with buttons. I just got some fancy, went in the garage, found a tool, and ripped the backs off the brads. Now I'm actually using them. So I had a little leaf on top of that, and I put some down here. Then I remembered that I think it was Gretchen, Cat and Paws. She sent me Happy Mail with this amazing, what do we call this? Is this eyelash trim? I don't know. It's even cooler. It has like little puffies on the end. And I thought when it came, I was like, brown, gosh, what am I going to do? Brown, I don't use a lot. Oh my gosh, it's amazing, isn't it? Now, on these cards, I'm so busy thinking about new techniques and pushing myself to embellish them more than I might normally. I didn't think about balance. I wish I would have put this over here a little, kind of spread out the gold accents, but I could put more. I might. I'm just having fun. I also stitched this down. I bought these at Stamp and Scrapbook Expo. I made a video of my haul. Stamponit.net is where you could get more of these. I think I have white ones too. And I used them, and I love them. The thing that I love about, I had a Queen & Company washi tape that was super narrow, and that's how I realized I love these. They add interest and dimension to a card without you really noticing. So you get some sparkle, but you don't have to worry so much about, do they match? Is the texture, is the gold right? Is the copper? So I've mixed golds and coppers and different widths of these strips. I just had a heyday on this one. So using the stash, it's been really fun. Then in bed, I did the same thing with this. A piece of ephemera. Also, the ephemera was super floppy. Oh, I didn't mention that. On the back of this, I have another, just a circle punch or some chunk I cut out of the packaging to the 6x6s. You know how I do that. And I glued it on, and then I have foam mount. The ephemera was super thin, so it was floppy. Here I put a piece of cardboard on the back of this and glued it because otherwise it would have been wobbly across the different layers I have here. Did the same thing. I just fussy cut it in bed. I'm not a good fussy cutter. I don't think you're going to notice. Gold washi. I went through my washi stash and pulled out some golds. They're all different, by the way. Then I was looking around. Sabrina K. Country Crafter sent me this ribbon that was absolutely adorable in Happy Mail. I was so sidetracked by the packaging itself. I hadn't really noticed it's a gold glitter ribbon. Perfect for fall. So I took a strip of that and put it across here, some more washi down here, and a bow. You guys, this is, like, I'm pushing myself outside of my comfort zone. If you've watched my channel a lot, I don't put 3 different kinds of embellishments, or, like, this is not the same brand of washi. They don't match exactly. I've got a different glitter here. I'm not really a bow girl. I was going to put it up here, but then when I decided to use this. So I'm really just pushing myself to add more and more stuff. This probably still needs some bling and some dimension, but I'm having a great time digging into my stash and trying things. Here's another one. I made this tag. I love how this turned out, and this is a great example. So when I went through my stash, I did not have any gold glitter. Are you kidding me? I have tons and tons of, because I like blue, right? I always make sure that my glitters go with blue. I don't know when I stopped having gold glitter. I have gold embossing powder, but I didn't have like gold glitter to put on here. And I, of course, had my Wink of Stella pen, but that wasn't really what I was going for. I wanted it to be super warm. So I resisted the urge to buy some. And I think it might have been raining, so I didn't want to ask Noni for any. So I just decided, okay, I'm going to figure this out. So This is washi tape with gold on it. Let me see if I can find that. The odds aren't real good, are they, you guys? Let's see. It might be right here. Okay, this is the same. Here we go. So it's fairly sheer. So when I laid it down, I just sort of tore the edges off right there so it looked a little better. And this is how I got gold here, and gold here, okay? And then these little tiny bits of glossy metallic that you see on here, those were the leftover 1/2-inch bits and bobs from making this. Okay, so it was just a case of it needed a little something, and these were, this was an embellishment tag that was in the kit. This was one of those words from the stickers that Sabrina and I bought. Then I had a scrap of gold in the first video when I showed you what I was going to use, somewhere along the way this month, or an update video. I showed you I had some gold paper, and then I layered it on brown. So I just kept gluing and fussy cutting, punched the hole. This is some stretchy cord that I had that I'm just loving with my fall stuff. And the embellishment pack had all these leaves, and it had the word fall, and I layered that on gold. This was just sitting in bed, watching TV, layering things and gluing. I was watching somebody, remind me if it was you. I know I commented, and I'll try and remember. I need to put it on the wall. And she said something in her video. My sister always tells me, put the paint on the canvas, because I would ask her, how do you prep the canvas? Do you have to gesso it? What about this? I heard about this. What kind of, and her answer, and my sister was a ceramics teacher and has a fine arts degree. And she would say, put the paint on the canvas. No matter what I asked her, that was what she said. So I have a rock in my backyard that says, put the paint on the canvas, because I overthink things. It's what I do. So I was watching somebody's video, and she said, stop thinking and start gluing, or something. I think that's what it was. Stop thinking and start gluing, and I thought, yeah, that's it. So when I sat down in bed that night, that's what I was doing. I was just gluing things together to see how they would look. And then I put it up on foam mount on the card. I tore the paper here, layered it up. The other thing I'm doing on these is I haven't stamped that yet. I'm using my old cardstock. I went into my stash. So I'm having a great time really using products that you've sent me in Happy Mail, or things that I had stashed, packages I haven't opened. I'm just saying, okay, it's time. This was out of my fancy die set that I got on my trip to Washington to that amazing little store. I made a haul video of that. I love the books that Daniela Hayes makes with the gorgeous borders on the edge. And those of you who know me, like, intricate dies are not my thing. So when I bought these, I was like, I wonder if I'm going to end up sending these to Sabrina. But I used it with my new pads. It worked perfectly, and I'm having fun. So I had some blue paper in this collection. Again, I got so busy playing with the washi and how I was going to use these die cuts. The layout isn't great. I feel like I need a focal point or something up here. So I have another one of these things somewhere. Made another one. Here's one that says gratitude. And what I did was, these were, you're not going to believe it. I need to like edit bits from the video, the original video when I think I showed these. They were like file tab holders. So there was a blank spot. Every once in a while, if you just lay your stuff out and get creative. I mean, they were kind of like this, but smaller. And there was a blank spot in the middle of each of them. So when I saw those tiny stickers, I mean, it said put a sticker here to me. So I put the sticker far at one end, and then I put embellishments on the other end. And, it's like supposed to be the top of the file folder kind of thing. I didn't like it that much, so I trimmed it off here. And I'll probably do that right now here before I forget. Just, if you don't like the shape of something, like I don't like those text bubble things. And there's so many stickers and embellishments of text bubbles. And then I watched somebody one day and she cut off the bubble part and it was a circle. And I was like, oh my gosh, why didn't I think of that? So I might put this one up here. I don't know, might be a little much, but that's kind of the point of these cards, is I'm trying new things. I love this little one. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it yet. Give thanks, and then I layered it on gold and chocolate brown. And here's another one. Similar idea to this, but a little different. I use the strips of sticker, and I have sewn the gold on. And the funny thing is, I'm still using the yellow thread from my summer. I think it was summer when I got the machine. I can't remember. It works for fall too. Eventually I'm going to have to actually change the thread in the machine. I have the ability, I just lack the interest. I also found, you see, where'd they go? Oh, here. These are actual brads, and I used them. They were in my stash, and they're called Harvest. Well, yes, no wonder they match this. I have some bows. I apologize if I get this wrong. I think Sabrina K might have sent these to me, and I thought I would work in some of the brown. I'm just going through my stash and having a great time, and I have more of these bows. I'm really not a bow girl, you guys. They're big. I don't know what to do with them sometimes. I have this from, I don't know what, last year. It was in my fall bag. I keep all my papers together, but I was not keeping, I don't have every embellishment that has brown or gold on it. So that's where I am. I still have a lot of work to do. Like, I better get to it. But I have a weekend where I know I'm going to be home. I figure the weather's going to be bad, so I can make it up at the end of the month if I need to. I also, in my stash, found an ancient piece of gold origami paper. That might blind you. Probably try and use that. Here's another card base that I've started. So I have a lot to go, but I just wanted to show you how I'm just doing it differently this month. I'm having a lot of fun really taking the challenge to the next level and adding stuff in. So I think when you see the cards, they're all going to be very different. They might not necessarily be cards that you would look at and know, oh, Sarah made those. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it and it wasn't too rambly. Sorry it was so long. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.